Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Saturday. I'm Captain Marek, and this is the dev stream of Captain of Industry. Right next to me, on the right, there is Captain Boba, catching up on the sleep after a great breakfast. And today we'll build some data centers, hopefully. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. Welcome all the people joining us live. Welcome all the people watching recording. See, I forgot to play the game in the intro, I see. Everything was frozen. By the way, we are just about to publish a new blog post about some exciting things with trains. So I was a little late today, 10 minutes late, because we were trying to finalize it. And I was like, you know what, it's all right. If I had to finalize it while streaming, we'll do it. I have let our community manager, Zach, to take care of the last finishing touches and publishing it on all the platforms. So, you know, I'll let you know whenever it's live. Hopefully, you'll let me know as well. And, you know, feel free to read it while listening to me in the background, because I think it's pretty exciting. But today I will not be showing any of that. Today is a regular live stream, regular gameplay. I didn't want to miss that because we have lots of things to work on. However, tomorrow there will be a trains live stream, special time, special live stream. So the same time as today, but tomorrow, hopefully, if everything goes well, I will be showcasing you the new train system and some of the things. So if you have time tomorrow, it'd be great to join us. If not, that's all right. It's going to be recorded as everything, so you can always go back and watch it. I think there's job post. Oh my god, the blog post. We are hiring, by the way, in case you're wondering. We also posted some job posts, but the blog post will show lots of videos and stuff. It's actually our first time we're putting videos in the job blog post. It's I need some rest. But yeah, it's we tried GIFs, and GIFs are, you know, low quality, too large, and even though they are easy to share between platforms, it just doesn't work. So we do some embedded videos, and unfortunately Steam announcement page does not support embedded videos, so it's going to be on our website, so you have to click through. We work on solving the problem, how to show videos without breaking Steam. And, you know, one option would be to upload them on YouTube, put them unlisted, and have this like a 5-second video unlisted. It just doesn't feel too good, so we decided to just put it on our website, which allows embedded videos, and do it this way. So let us know how that works. I think I broke this up when I was trying to do something smart here. Anyhow, so where are we? I was also doing some roads, by the way, some little decoration. Yeah. So the plan is data centers for today. And the reason for is that, well, first of all, we are barely scraping by, and we'd like to upgrade our machines to use more computing. For example, our microchip production needs to be scaled up really urgently, and we need lots of processing power, 3 teraflops per machine. You can already see we have a warning sometimes. So we have to scale that, and data centers are obvious answer. Exempt in Twitch chat just came assume. I was just talking about the trains. We are just about to release announcements. A lot more, but also we are saying that the trains will probably come next year in the Q1. This year is too rushed for us to do it this year. So our current target is Q1 next year. By Q1, I just don't know, first quarter, first 3 months, probably not January. But you know, February and March is a fair play at this point, so we'll see when that goes. Yeah, of course next year. Yeah, next year. No 2050. So yeah, it's gonna be, you know, a couple more months, maybe 3-4 months of work that we need to put in, and of course there is, you know, Christmas and New Year's. It's gonna be a little slower. People taking vacations. Yeah, so for servers, we have. We just need, you know, to build data centers. We need to build servers. For servers, we just need steel and electronics, which we have, hopefully. Mostly. So I think I'm just thinking where to put it, where to build our data center. I would hate to move it. If I could help it, I would want to build it in one place and just keep expanding. I also planted some trees, by the way. Kind of nice. Where do I put data centers? It's going to be like a farm area, so I'm not thinking about here. I'm thinking, well, I wish this hole was not here, because then we could put it here. But the hole will take a lot more time to fill in. Here's our nuclear power plant that we built last time. Works great, by the way. No issues whatsoever. One thing I've done, by the way, I've upgraded this conveyor belt, which takes the spent fuel to the storage to be tier 3. And the reason for that is every time you have a spent fuel which is not shielded, it's generating radiation or pollution. And you can actually see, if I go to pollution, you can see a little bit of radiation here. I mean, I can turn off everything else. You can see a little bit, like there was a 0 until, you know, since the beginning, because we had nothing. And then suddenly it started to jump to 102 this is per year, which is not too much. You know, if you compare to, for example, like air pollution right now, that's nothing. However, it was unnecessary because they were just on the conveyor belt. So I invited to tier 3, and you can see tier 3 is basically a third of a pollution, so why not? And I would also recommend maybe in the next time building the storages way closer. Maybe we should have built them here. I was kind of planning for a road to be here. Maybe here would be a nice area for that instead. So next time build them a little closer, so this conveyor belt doesn't have to be as long, to reduce pollution to pretty much 0. It would be a smart thing to do. I have built extra thing for exhaust cleaning, and I've kind of trying to be smart and put this steam into existing turbines. But yeah, maybe I can just pause this turbine, because it's gonna be taking the steam from here. I pause the turbine, pause this boiler. It's gonna solve it. Sarda is wondering if we're gonna have aluminum by 2026. Aluminum, you're saying, huh? You would like some aluminum. What would you want to use it for, aluminum? Brackets, perhaps? Or cars? Or some advanced machines? Just curious. I know aluminum in the real world is very useful. You know, cans, maybe you can can some food. You can do it with steel cans as well. Alright, so I still haven't decided on data center location. But before I do that, maybe I can just build the server machine, because we will not need too many of them. I think one is enough, actually. One server maker. Maybe putting it right here. It's kind of a special location here. Maybe even like this. Is there space for 2? In theory, yes. I think will not need 2, but just for the future. And steel, I think steel should be nearby. I think this is steel. Yes. Can I put it in a corner? Yep. That's exactly where I want it. Actually, yeah, let's go all the way up. All the way up. Or all the way down, actually. Why not? Yeah, I think down is better. Maybe, I don't know. It's okay. If I go down, then I will have to go up anyway. Yeah. All right. And then a server building, storage. I think 360 servers per store would be enough. Do we have Unity? We do. Let's just Unity build everything. I'll pause this machine. While I'm deciding where to put. Right, it's gonna take a little bit to saturate this with microchips. We can even send the ship actually to. I've upgraded. Did I actually? That's a good question. Did I upgrade everything on the ship? We researched everything. Yes. The ship is fully upgraded. Yeah, look at the beauty. Fully upgraded. Upgrade ship. And to get more electronics. I'll start. Yeah, we have no easy enemies around. The best chance of finding something is on location without any mine or other building. All right, you guys are saying that the belt is not connected. Oh, that's right. I probably had the snapping off while I was doing it. Oh, because it's flipped? Let's do it again. Flip. Yep. All right. This is gonna be bothering me for a long time, probably. Because I have injected wrong amount of steam in the system. Oh, wait a second. Nothing with the water here. Oh, the water is being backed up. That is a very interesting issue. Because we no longer... Oh yeah, because this is injecting basically extra water into the system. Alright. Alright, so the reason is that before the water loop was kind of tight, whenever water was taken from here by the turbines, it was returned in a lower amount, so there was never excess. But now this is supplying extra steam, which will overfill this loop with water. And I think the easiest way to overflow the water out of the system would be to build a little overflow here. And say that we prioritize water, and we can put it perhaps here. Maybe we can This priority input from here, yes. This could be priority input as well. And here we prioritize for the storing anyway, but any overflow can basically go there. It should solve our, hopefully, those notifications. Yeah, I have out of necessity expanded here, even though this is supposed to be a steel area and I might need to expand steel. I think one more steel would be okay, but maybe a second one would have to relocate. But I had too much exhaust and I didn't want to release it. I wanted to clean because of sulfur. We had some sulfur issues. Now it's getting better. Sulfur is nearly full here. But definitely, it's mostly for the sulfur and also for pollution, right? So we see recycling. That's actually great. Ship in battle. What do we get? Oh yeah, 136 electronics. Look at that. That's great. I think the trucks will hopefully truck them, truck the electronics. They probably already did. Can I see any trucks with electronics? Didn't see. Maybe it was a while ago. I didn't see any electronics trucks. I don't see electronics here. Maybe they're on the way. Yeah, I think we have a problem with maybe this one should be a lower priority, a higher priority, so that it gets computing preferentially. Yeah, it's working now. Servers are flowing in slowly, very slowly. Accent has a question. Why can't you store? Yeah, why can't you store those silicon byproducts, those wafers? Well, we decided against it because they are single-purpose byproduct or single-purpose kind of intermediate product, and we decided against storing it because it would be on the UI. If you change, choosing product here, it would pollute all the lists and would make everything kind of. It's too many of them. It's too many of them, and we didn't see that much utility of storing them because you want to produce the final thing mostly, right? You wouldn't really want to buffer them too much up. And if you do want to buffer them, I hate to say it, but just build a zigzag conveyor belt and tier 3, and you can store a lot of that. Even though we still don't like it, people do it for Steam, but can't stop it. So if you really, really, really want to store them, I believe on KoiHub there is like a blueprint that is like a 3-level high zigzag full of conveyor belts that can allow to store you multiple hundreds of them if you really, really want to. Yeah, but other than that, I don't think we have plans for allowing to store them. It's too niche of a product, too specialized, and it's single purpose. Like there's no other use other than pass it to the next machine. So we decided against buffering to kind of free up the UIs and stuff like that. Yeah, conveyor belt storage is not great, and that's intended. It's not supposed to be convenient. It's just, I'm just wondering, why would you want to buffer them up? I guess maybe some states that uses the liquids can produce another count, but then the other ones get the product, then they're gonna, I don't see a too good of a use case unless you have some. Please let me know. Why would you want to buffer up some of them but not others? All right, so what's going on here? Oh, you guys are okay. Let's help you out. Yeah, I've actually called a crew here to make this ramp neater for no good reason, really. I just thought that it's been designated for like since episode, I don't know, 5. It's like there was a designation here kind of making this ramp neater. I was like, all right, now we have a few mega excavators idle. Let them do this. And also I was needing a little bit more space here. I've built second incineration plant, which was needed because our waste was being dumped. And the reason how I know and the reason how I found out it was pollution plot. And if you look at waste pollution, it was 0, and then suddenly it was rolling up. And that's where waste was being dumped and causing pollution. So I built the plant and you can see suddenly it went back to 0. So that's how I realized, because I was checking actually the pollution for nuclear and I found, oh, why there's waste pollution? So I basically doubled up the plant. There used to be a tofu factory for people who have been with us for a while. I removed the tofu factory because obviously our crazy food all making thing now works very well. So that's working, and I just needed a little bit more excavation here because of this corner. So I called in excavators and let them do this. It's working pretty well. All right, they just need a little more work. Oh, coal is idle. Let's fix that. I have 2 coal crews, kind of one working on the level, one below. However, actually, since we built the nuclear power plant, our coal usage dropped significantly. In previous episodes, I was expanding this coal mine and I was always low on coal. And now let's check the coal plot. And here we can see if I remove everything except consumption, it can show you that it's gonna, it was around 5,000 peak per year. Now we are around 2.5. It's basically half, I would say, which is fantastic. That's great. Also pollution, if I go back and see air pollution, you can see steadily going down because using less coal, doing more purification. That's definitely a nice thing. I can put everything you can see in context. Vehicles are starting to be next contender for cleaning up. So maybe next time. I already built a experimental hydrogen fuel station just because here we make hydrogen for the silicon reactor. So I was thinking maybe we can just store it and then make a station here. But we have not too many hydrogen tracks now. So that's it's all good. All right, so where should we put data centers? They do need chilled water. And chilled water is made in chiller. And it is a little bit of a... There's a little bit of a loss. So you need a replenishment of water a little bit. Maybe... Well, putting it on the coast is not very useful. We might need some code space for contracts later. However, somewhere near water. I guess water is everywhere. We have these main water lines running around the whole island. Mark is asking whether all kinds of pollution make the same effect, and that is correct. Basically, this pollution graph, it doesn't matter whether it's air or vehicle. The pollution is the final metric that matters for health computation and things like that. So the total of all of these will be the one that matters. So if you have, lots of radiation, for example, that would be, as bad as having landfill or anything else. What differs is, for example, different materials have different pollution rates, right? So, for example, you can see that dumping exhaust causes pollution, basically half pollution for each exhaust. CO2 is like water, and liquid dump, you can see that so wastewater is 1:1, sour water is 1:2, toxic slurry is 2.5x. So basically, not every material is causing the same pollution, but the quantity is recomputed to a pollution amount, and then that's constant for everything. So yeah, that's how it works. right, let me check if our blog post is online. I don't even know. Zach never told me. Oh. There you go. It's live. Zach is sneakily sneakily on the stream. Zach, could you send a link to the chat? That'd be great. People can read it. I'm not going to be answering too many train questions today. Please keep all your questions or most of your questions for tomorrow's stream, because it's going to be dedicated and I can share with the trains directly. However, you know, you can read the blog post and discuss it. I think Discord, Reddit, or even Steam discussion is a great place for discussion. I'll send it on the Twitch chat as well. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it. All right, now back to my issue with where do I place my data center. I feel this area that is not being dumped would be ideal place. There's nothing here. Or maybe behind this road. Yeah, this road kind of like ends the farm area, and then we can have industrial area. We have some. I guess here we are making the CPUs. So yeah, maybe here's fine. I think sometimes I tend to overthink things. Sometimes, you know, it's the engineer's problem when you want to have things perfect because you know how much pain it is to change it later. But it's all right. There's always a way to do things. So I'll do some chillers here. There's water right here, very convenient. I'm just gonna make chiller here. It's been a while since I built the data center. I'm not even sure what the best practices are anymore. I know you can chain them. That's nice because you can do this, and I think you flip them. No, don't flip them. This way, yeah, this way you can chain them into longer buildings because they. I think it's the only building that outputs its own input with to support chaining, right? And we're kind of a little worried when we did this. Is it something that we want? Is it something that's weird because we don't do it anywhere else? Data center is the only one, the only building that does this. But I guess so far nobody complained about it. Maybe we can do more buildings like this to allow easier chaining, easier scaling. Also, it's one of the few buildings where the input and output is on the same side. Usually input is one side, output is other side. This one has it all at the same side, which is also something that we usually don't do. This one was a little, I guess you can call it a little experimental feature to kind of test out how this feels. So now I'm testing it. I'll let you know how it feels momentarily. I'm just building here. Could have also swapped this, right, to make it even neater. Planning mode. Planning mode is something. Planning mode is something that actually Philip. There was a request from Philip because he likes to plan things, I guess, more than me, and I thought it's not as necessary. But then eventually put it in, and now I found it very helpful. I thought we just pause the game and do it in the pause everything, right? But then, you know, that would. I'm enjoying letting the game play and then planning everything out. And once it's done, I'm just build it. Yeah. So the water priority goes here, so we don't get the water clogged up, and that's it. Now use Unity. So if you like planning mode, you can send Captain Philip a love letter, thanking him for that feature. How many servers we have? Oh, plenty. 88. That's great. We are all already low on computing. So yeah. See, 3 servers already 6 teraflops. That's, I think, yeah, nearly one of these buildings. So we need one more server to match one building. Very efficient in terms of computing. Electricity as well. However, it needs maintenance 3, and I haven't thought about that. I already have a warning about that. All right, maintenance 3. That's something that we do need to set up ASAP. And that needs... yeah, what would be the great place for maintenance 3? It does need mechanical parts and electronics 3. I'm tempted to set up basically as the last row here. We don't need too much of it. However, we do need some. I think here is a... yeah, I think this is fine. I will... I will just need mechanical parts, which... actually mechanical parts are not in this area, are they? Or are maybe here? Oh yeah, they're here. It's right here, yes. Is that a big deal? I think it's not a big deal. I think it's not a big deal. We're just gonna route it in. Now, might be a little tight in here. Just a little. Just like that. There's mechanical parts, and regarding the chips, I wonder if we should have some kind of a... I think we should have a priority for maintenance, because we are making chips such a low rate. There's a danger that other machines will drain. It reminds me, let's send a ship for our next journey to get more electronics. I'll just make a simple priority here and say priority out. This tier 2 conveyor belt? Oh, someone was greedy here. Maybe it should have been actually better to make it other way around. Not that it matters too much. Priority here. And just like that. We'll connect this. I'm just gonna build this one right away. And we definitely want to use the recyclables recipe, which will output recyclables here. Can we even pass this? So recyclables are actually right here. I wish I built one space between the farms. This one has to go. It's interesting that the entire research and paper production, it depends on one water collector, and it's sufficient for the entire game basically. Maybe we need to rebalance. What do you guys think? Should paper take more water? So the one rainwater collector is not enough. Not a bridge. Oops. And just like that. Gonna be recyclables. And it works. Already some maintenance. It'll fill up very quickly. I'll actually might remove the priority. No, I'll make sure it's saturates. Oh, Exempt is asking that our blog post doesn't show the trains have a priority. Well, signals also don't have priority, right? If you build chain signals or block signals or something, there's no priority in there. It's gonna first come. Not even first come first serve. It depends on the game, I guess. Some games might have some first come first serve rules. Some games don't, but priority is not something that we have currently shown and we have currently worked on. If there's a need for some priority in the routing, we might need to understand the use case better. I think at this point I'm not entirely sure what such priority system should do or not do. So if you have a great example, I think that would be something you could consider. But the blog post is mostly showing how we can route trains in a advanced manner without any signals, which I think that's the main point of the blog post. Yeah, Mark is suggesting or Sarda to throw in paper to settlement and have some kind of paper goods. That's a good point. And actually we are kind of considering something similar. It's on our list to explore for update 3 or future updates, to have more paper goods or even other goods like plastics and other materials to give to settlement for Unity, right? More Unity is always better. I think it's a win-win for everyone. You want to spend more materials to get more Unity, that's perfect. All right. We have some warnings. Let me go through them. Lots of rock in here. Guess we hit some. Yeah, we're hitting end of the field. That's all right. Here we are done. We keep leveling. I think we should. Let's do these 3, which might endanger the water pipe. This water pipe is quite important for settlement. That's the primary water for settlement. So they need to make sure that nothing bad is happening. So what's going on in here? Well, this is my secondary call crew. All right, you guys just keep going. You're doing a great job. These guys picked up sand. Oh, we are on the sand area already. That's interesting. All right, so what do you do with sand? I guess this sorter can accept sand, I guess. Repaired. Let's send it again. Do we have more electronics? Let's add more. We've also researched the graphite, I believe. Series recycling, yes. CO2 into graphite, that's amazing. That is amazing recipe. And we were intending to replace... Where's graphite here? Somewhere here's graphite. This one? Yes. You're making graphite out of coal and chlorine. It would be nice if we can just use CO2 for that. And what's the best way of using CO2? Of using loads of CO2 from our scrubbers. That's the perfect location for that. These PCBs are more and more kind of in the way, honestly. More and more. I would want to build more scrubbers here, or even the graphite processing. Chemical plant is doing the graphite? Or was doing the graphite? Yes. Just build it here, perhaps. Eventually we're gonna remove this, I think, and put it... Maybe after we're done with research, just put it here. That would be a good replacement, I think. So far there, it's working great, but it's a little out of place. And graphite actually is used... Let me double check, where's this graphite? Molten silicon. Could you use it? Oh, in the arc furnaces, that's right. Eventually in all furnaces, actually. So we will need a lot of graphite eventually. Why not just put it here then? And make a big storage. Well, that's a little too big maybe. Never too big. It's always good to have a lot of graphite. We will need lots of outputs of the storage, so I will put it here. CO2. Just like that. Graphite. And CO2. Alright, so now we need priority system for CO2. That's a new one. That's alright. How much are these outputting? 72. Alright. 72. I think I'm gonna remove these and rebuild it. This one will also go here. Little like that. And on this side, let's build all of this. Here's a convenient place to make a little priority. Large smokestack for all the overflow. Priority this way. This will be making 6. We are using actually more than that already. Let's double that up. It's using a lot of CO2, which is actually good. We have a lot of CO2. To make it tileable, can make this. All right, what do you guys have to say about that? Possible future use for graphite could be in batteries. That's a good point. Right, Exempt is asking, where would I be working down in Crater? Yeah, so Crater plans are interesting. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing down there. First of all, it's on my office location. It's one. However, there's also oil field, which is pretty big. I believe it's 500,000, which we will drain before doing anything fancy here. And then, you know, I was kind of thinking maybe move the city here or flood it, or I think dumping the material is a little too, it's a little too big. I think there's not enough rock around to completely dump it flat. So I was kind of thinking embracing the maybe making a deep hole, just mining as deep as we can. Just embracing the depth and just go beyond. Find where the oil is. Make a surface oil mine. Yeah, I think mining some kind of deep hole would be an interesting idea to kind of try to see how deep we can get. So yeah, graphite definitely interesting material for future, and even you know the ways of how we make it. It's interesting to consider. So I know that this one will. Well, this one is making 72. This one is consuming 144. So actually, it is now the correct ratio. It's 4 to 2. If we need another building, we need these two guys to contribute their share of CO2. Which I think we should do it instead of saving some pollution. It's always good to remove pollution from the air and make some products out of it. What's CO2? This is CO2. I think we need this to be by tier 3 already. And just to make sure, I'll upgrade the overflow to tier 3 as well. And these guys as well. We are rich. We don't need to worry about wasting a little bit of materials on higher tiers than we need. So Unity rich? Yes, Unity rich as well. Let's just Unity build everything. Maybe we could have like a checkbox. Unity build everything. Automatically. Don't even bother. Even though I'm not getting too much Unity per month. Alright, not a battle win. 64. Alright. Let's do one more. Actually, we are like half. That might have been the best idea. Should have gone home and repair perhaps. Oh, we'll see. Mark is saying that there is no way of getting surplus graphite. I wonder what would you want to do with the surplus graphite? Like ground it up in a shredder and dump it on the terrain or something? It'd be interesting to know. Except there's an important question where to post ideas. So, well, we have this ideas webpage. So it's ideas.captainofindustry.com, I think. You can find links in various places, for example, on Discord. Or if you just Google Captain of Industry ideas, I think it'll show up as well. And here, before every update, we go through and kind of see what people have to say. And we don't respond to all the things, but we do read mostly all of them. I believe before update 2, I read everything with at least 5 votes on it. So if you get, I would say 10 votes or 5 to 10 votes, you're going to have pretty much guarantee that I will see it and read it. You can also discuss the ideas on Discord, Reddit, discuss with people, see what they have to say about the idea, if they like it or not, before kind of committing to it and posting it. It's all good. You're also asking whether these are roads, or these are kind of fake roads. It's just painted decals, right? So when I was waiting on the before stream, I was kind of having some fun and painting some of these things, and it's basically what I've done is I've taken this surfaces, and there's a paint, and I put it to white, and basically I'm just painting here. So for example here, if I would like to paint the little corner, I'm using these for that. These, like a double-sided. I'm usually leaving three space in between. Maybe here 2 space looks fine. And the cool thing is you can actually copy paste decals as well. So I can just copy this and then paste like that. Have a little road like looking thing, even though trucks kind of ignore it, honestly. So we still have lots of work to do to make this more usable and useful and things like that. We talked about it some time ago on the live stream. However, if you don't mind, the uselessness of it for now, I think it's pretty neat. Corners has to be kind of handled manually sometimes. I have used cobblestone for the road, just because I think if I'm paying for maintenance, they better use the maintenance. So, destroy the suspension on the cobblestone a little bit and then get it repaired. That's how I'm thinking about it. Make a bunch of these decals show up. I've also I was kind of playing a little bit with other decals. I was doing, the lines and those grids, and I even put some thing. I think I misspelled sulfur as well. I guess this is a alternate spelling. I meant to also spend, I think it's with F, right? It's sulfur with F. Oh. I can like this, maybe nicer. So I'm just asking about turning coal into oil. Yeah, it's on our radar. We understand that the technology is real, and we were considering it. It's not as high priority because it's sometimes coal is even more useful than oil because you have to mine it. But whether coal comes from the oil rig, which is a little easier to manage. Oh, we want this one as well. So a little lower on priority list, but maybe it's going to happen eventually. We just need to plan for it, make sure that we have the right machines. Making a machine and that it's a lot of investment. It might sound strange, but making a machine is maybe, I would say, 2 weeks of work. Depends on the machine, of course. Like things like nuclear power plants were more than that, and things like smokestack is, it's not 2 weeks. It's maybe 1 week or so, or a couple or half week. But on average, I would say 2 weeks for a machine. So imagine you need maybe 2 or 1 machine for new chain. That would add up. Obviously, using existing machines would be great. Using, for example, chemical plant for that would cut down cost significantly, but then at expense of adding more and more recipes for things. So it's always a trade-off. So we consider it, we all think about it, how it fits the game, and let you know. Cannot promise anything, it's not on our roadmap, because we are working on the trains and things. Alright, so I'm liking this new plant, and I want to say decommission, but I think for now I'll just pause it. Because once we start using graphite in all the processes, like in furnaces, we might need a little help from coal and chlorine. Because you might not have enough CO2 basically to run everything. And I believe we also have it here. Yeah, that's right. We are burning excess CO2 from... Yes. We are. I was thinking about this. We are kind of building only what we need. I think we can just build everything at this point. Is it a bad idea? I think we can. Let's do. Let them build everything. Maybe we need more people for that as well, which I already penciled in here. So let's do that as well. One more. Maybe 2 more blocks. Yeah, this pipe survived. Excavation. Nice. Did I make a mistake here? Oh no. Mistakes were made. Dump it back. Will they dump it back? Right, very smart. Smart truck. Good job. Alright, what else we have here? Again, too much rock here. That's alright. Maybe stop warning me about the rock. It's alright. Oh, and we are done. No available place to dump products? Really? Ah. Our sand is getting mined up. Let's scoop up those few little bits before filling the mine completely. Maybe these bits as well. Maybe these bits. Before declaring, how much sand is there left? I'm curious. Not too much. There's some sand here though, underneath. Maybe we can extract that. Alright, that's this. Who else is unhappy? You are unhappy. So you have nothing to do. Captain Coco is doing some cat business behind me. Yeah, a belt with some rocks would definitely help with freeing up traps. I just don't feel like it for now to carrying belts from those places. It's alright. They are mostly waiting for... So then maybe we should not mine this, right? I mean, we're just mining pure rock here. That's not very helpful. can just... Oh, this one actually is iron ore still. Maybe let's mine some iron ore instead. Mining pure rock is not that important. I think even bigger storage would help here, because if you have bigger storage like this, only 1 or 2 trucks can be scheduled at the same time, right? So they cannot actually efficiently remove it. So it would help significantly just to build bigger storage, which we don't have space here for. No? Anyone? Storage? We can build it here. Give them a little extra space. Let's call it rock. And this would make the throughput bigger, because more dump trucks, more big trucks can be scheduled at the same time. So I think it's not a problem of logistics as much as with the small storages, which are not efficient enough for emptying. Yeah, lots of... Yeah, rock and 1 dirt. That's right. Lots of rock here. Here, remove. We're also using a lot of rock for concrete, I think. Because I have concreted... Actually, it's already done. I have just scheduled concreting most of this, and you can see they're already filling up those places. So that's using a lot of rock, a lot of limestone for cement. That's pretty nice. XM submitted a idea for dynamic map that would... I guess I have to read it to understand what exactly it means. So thanks for submitting the idea. I'll check it out. Yeah, one thing Sarda's mentioning, that since the trucks are queuing up next to the mining tower when they have nowhere to go, you have to, or you should put ideally the sorting station next to the mining tower, which is true. And that's something also it's a work in progress, right? I mean, I think in ideal, we are still unsure whether mining towers is the best thing. The nice thing about mining towers is it's a building you click on, you can configure the mine, but lots of people sometimes have them too far away from the mine, and it's a little hassle. We're thinking about having a virtual, like little flag or something that you don't need to have a building for, you just have a virtual thing. It's just, the virtual things in the game don't feel that well, because then you can't click on them because you don't see them, or then you would see virtual flags everywhere, which isn't also not an ideal. One idea was, for example, to have a waypoint where you can specify where the idle trucks should be waiting when they are idle, or even a parking lot or something, right? So that was another thing that could help with this problem. And same for excavators. Current excavators stay in the mine. Maybe sometimes I would want them to not stay in the mine, but I don't want them necessarily to go back to the mining tower. So having some kind of waypoint would be at least nice. Or maybe you can set building as a waypoint. So maybe they'll go to the sorting station when they are kind of idle like this. That's another thing. So we might be able to do that as well. Why is it assigned incorrectly? This should help. All right, not enough workers. Right. I think we can maybe pause some of these buildings. So we don't need that many. Right, these guys need a graphite recipe. And I think I can pause them as well. These ones are making... we don't have it researched yet. That's gonna be our medical supplies tier 3, if you don't have yet. can pause this one as well. Yeah, eventually we'll research. After nuclear reactor, I believe we have medical supplies 3. And anesthetics would be this factory. It's paused currently. That's nice. Yeah, don't worry about that. Hero, we also have a lot of rock pending. We could do the same trick here with the rock. But we have 2 sorters, so I'm less worried about overfilling them. Alright, so our data centers. Can we build more servers? Yes. Slowly building it up. And I think we can start pausing. Maybe not as much. Yeah. Start pausing these guys. And we should maybe double this setup up. Or build more. Ship. Get more electronics 3, we need that. Yeah, currently we have 1-to-1 split for research versus server production. I think that's fine. And Jackie is saying that the waypoint would be great. Yeah. I also miss one feature to be move tower without messing up the assignments, right? Kind of like say destroy it and move it here without me needing to reassign everything. You can copy paste, but you will assign different trucks and excavators, right? So you kind of mess up a little bit the flow. But the waypoints would be also nice, I think. We'll see what can be done. Anthony's asking about storage for mixed products, and that's a great question. Storage for mixed products does not exist, not because we like to cause pain to you with sorters, but because actually technically it's quite hard to support. It would be very special and it would not... Basically transports, conveyor belts cannot easily transport mixed products because mixed products is special. It kind of has to remember what is it mixed of, what's the proportions. And those little piles on conveyor belts, they are highly optimized currently to be as fast as possible and as small as possible in memory, and it does not have the option of having additional information of remembering what's the mix, basically. And adding that would be quite a bit of hassle, honestly. It would make the game slower, more memory consumption, and it would be used only for the mixed products, and we felt that is just not worth it. It's not worth to make all the conveyor belts in the game slower just because some belts can maybe carry mixed cargo. So we decided against it. We decided that the only thing that we have special is trucks and sorting plants, which can support that, and they have special code to handle that, and excavators, of course. But everything else in the game should not be affected, and that was a deliberate choice. So it's if you look at the factory right now on my screen, there is thousands and thousands of products all moving. We remove very little from the far, so you can see if I zoom out, you can still see the products on the conveyor belts moving slowly, and they're moving smoothly with no lag or anything, with no, everything is there. And we like to have that. We don't like popping out things in existence, even though you can barely see them. So we have to hyper optimize everything for this, right? So imagine, actually you can see on the higher tier conveyor belts, the products are stacked in certain height, right? So all these products are also rendered separately. So we spend a lot of time optimizing conveyor belts to be as fast as possible. And this is the unfortunate result, that in order to make it optimal, we have limitation. For example, mixed cargo cannot be transported through conveyor belts. Recyclables are interesting. I might give you a little secret on recyclables in case you don't know, because you can tell me, hey, so you have recyclables, so what's wrong with that? Because this recyclable also contain a mix, right? Because we remember what you recycled, and somehow it works on the belt, so how come? Well, recyclables are special, and actually they're interesting. So how it works is that the product of recyclable doesn't carry information. It carries just the fact that it's recyclable. And we have a global system of remembering what's supposed to be recycled out of recyclables. And that's going to happen. So imagine that recyclables out of tier 1 maintenance depot go straight into the plant. They don't mix with anything, they go straight to the plant. You would expect only iron and copper to be recycled out of it. But the recycle plant would also return you everything else around the island, like gold and glass, because we cannot track the destination, we track it globally. So if your island is recycling glass anywhere, you can build a recycling plant anywhere on the island, and it would get you all the recyclables from the entire island, unfortunately. And this is the thing we had to do in order to make recyclables work. So it's a global thing. So we could have made the same thing for this, but it would feel weird, right? If conveyor belt would be carrying something from a coal mine and suddenly iron ore came out from the sorter. Like, they would not work, right? Recyclables are a little bit less. It's a little bit less important to see what's in them, but from trucks, it's absolutely important, right? You can't be recycling or sorting something you haven't delivered there. So unfortunately, this global thing wouldn't work for this. That's why you have to do it this. So it's not a cheat. It's basically it's a simplification for the game's sake to be able to put recyclables on the belt. What we could have done, we also said, well, recyclables are special. You have to track them, same as materials which are mixed, and then you wouldn't be able to do this. And we felt that it's just not worth it. It's not worth the inconvenience for the player to be able to have to track everything just to keep the ratios correct. So if you have one recycle plant, you will notice, because it would do the right thing. When you have like two separate areas where you're recycling only from, for example, tier 1 maintenance depots, you would expect to not get anything other than that, but you will get everything anyway. That's the simplification that we had to make, and this would not work for mixed materials, obviously. Yeah, so that's the reason that. So I'm just trying to explain to you guys why are certain things like that, because it's not because we are we don't want to do it right. We understand the reason and things, but it's just complicated certain ways. And we were considering being able to mark some simple, maybe a byte of information to each product on conveyor belt to be able to support this. But even if you allow yourself an extra byte, then you have a problem with combining. You have a priority, you have connectors and priority splitters and everything. And that if you're splitting a stack of 3 products into 2 separate stacks, if you're combining them, you would have to have special logic of combining this extra ID, extra information attached to each product. And that's not clear what you do, right? I mean, every product that's mixed would have to have a special treatment. So you would have to be calling some function every time you split a product, calling a function every time you merge product. Sometimes even merging might be possible because of some, something. So yeah, it's a really complex problem. Maybe in the far future, if we optimize things even further and we have space for extra processing, it would be fabulous if recyclables work the way they should be, and if mixed products could be put on conveyor belts, it'd be great. But unfortunately, it can't. So instead, what we're gonna give you in update 3 is a tier 2 recycling plant, or sorting plant. Recycling plant tier 2 probably not for now. It seems to be more powerful now, but tier 2 or sorting plant would be available, and it's gonna be massive. You will not need to build more than 1 per mine, I promise. And I think you might even want to share them for multiple mines because they're massive. they're big because we decided that, people like sorting and it's great, but building a row of sorting was not our intention, and we didn't make it for bit one because we ran out of time. So now, instead of building storage, you will just build a massive plant and that has a big storage built in, hopefully. So you won't have a problem that only 2 trucks can fit in. Because hopefully it's gonna ease this problem of missing a storage for mixed materials. Jackie's asking, how did I learn to program? Yeah, I've studied computer science. That helps. And I've also been very interested in coding from a young age. So my parents were a little frustrated I was playing a lot of video games. So they signed me up for some courses of web pages making and some C courses, and I kind of liked it. I was, doing some stuff. My first programming language was C, Borland C, in fact. That was interesting introduction to programming. And I think I owe this love for programming not only for my parents, but also for the teachers. I had a great teachers. They were basically like after school activity for coding, like courses. Not courses, I don't know, how do you call it? It's kind of like a after school club. And there were a bunch of people interested. And the teachers were just people who were doing coding for their living. And they were just, in their free time, they were volunteering to teach kids. And they were so good that I ended up loving coding. And since then, I'm just coding all time. Yeah, I'm just, you get good at coding by just coding, honestly. You just do it and do it a lot. And then if you like it, then you don't feel like it's a chore, right? You feel it's fun. And by doing fun things, you end up doing it a lot, and then you end up being good at it. And I think that's all it needs, is just time. Spending doing it, and you end up being good, and eventually you can be optimizing conveyor belts. That's my career peak, I guess. No, it's of course there's more interesting things I've done, but yeah, it's if you want to be good at something, just keep doing it. And the thing is, if you don't like it, doing it, it's hard to be good at it because it's be a chore, right? Your brain's going to be like, oh, where can I do something else? So if you happen to be liking something and doing a lot, that's the self-feeding loop, how you end up being good at something. Like if you like to play some instrument, you like violin or you like trumpet, and you just like playing it, and you're playing it in your spare time, you're playing it all the time, you go with friends playing it, and then you end up being a really good trumpet player, right? That's how it works. If you don't like it, sometimes pushing a little bit, and it's not always that I always liked it. I mean, courses in school were hard, and I was dreading them a lot, and I was hating it in a couple occasions. But sometimes you have to push through, right? So it's not always fun. Sometimes it is a chore, and the fun in between chore hopefully lets you kind of carry through doing it instead of abandoning it. So sometimes, when you want to be good and you don't like it yet, the hope is when you push through, you will end up liking it once you are better. Because sometimes not being good can be frustrating. So I can understand that. So if you don't feel like coding, but you really like the possibilities that can open, I would encourage to push through a little bit and do something that you like. Coding, you can make your own little game, or if game is too hard, which it is, by the way, you can make something other than that, right? Something that interests you. I was really interested in, still am, in fractals when I was younger, and still am. So I was doing also fractals coding. So that also I've spent a lot of time. So find your niche and do it. Oh yeah, these guys. So I understand that avalanche will make the excavator mess up. However, now I understand the report saying, well, just go here, right? I mean, I understand that you messed up and you make an avalanche and you can't mine anymore because you are stuck. But I think what happens is that the excavator, it can mine because it is near its designation is mining, but the truck cannot get to it. Right? It is to say, yeah. So the excavator is happy to mine in this location, but the truck can't reach it. So it's not the excavator stuck. So let me try. So if I move it, I think it's gonna correct itself. Let's see. No, it's refusing to move. Yeah, I think this is a little bug or little bad behavior. It's not a bug, it's bad behavior in the logic. Because the excavator, if there were not, if it was not mining nearby, it would definitely recover. We have a recovery code, but because of this particular situation, it does not recover. So I'll be putting in my notes to because I have a very good reproduction on this excavator to be able to recover from cases like this. Eventually, what I would love on, for example, on Admiral difficulty, to have the excavator be buried under the rock instead of rising on top like a little floating duck. I would like it to actually be underneath, and you have to call other excavators to rescue it. Yeah, and if you don't do it in time, it's gonna turn into metal scrap. And the person will die, and the unit is gonna go down because there'll be accident, and you're gonna have to investigate the accident and write a report. Yeah. Yeah, I see it can be frustrating. We do have lots of recovery code, but I think the problem was that it was willing to mine. If it was not even willing to mine, it's gonna engage in recovery and do something. But now that was just like that. Yeah, lots of ideas. All right, ship in battle. Can we have more? Oh yeah, more electronics. Fantastic. All right. 2 more servers. Pause this. Yeah, I think it's going pretty well. I think with the ships bringing up micro electronics, it's greatly speeding up all those processes because we are making them really slowly. I think I should scale this up and potentially made it just one line without this back loop. How would that look like? I'm just curious if I make I think it would look something like this. Oh, that's long. And I haven't made enough space here, which is fantastic. I was thinking there's plenty space, but apparently not too plenty. Nope, that's still not enough. Yeah, I should have made more space here. I have all the space in the world, but I decided to put the center right here. We can move it a little bit. I could move it. It's expensive, but I think I have 75%, even more return on the materials. I think move it now is better than later, because once we destroy these, moving it will be more disruptive to our factory. So maybe just move it even more. Yeah, move it more. Let's do it now instead of later. I'm not... I don't want to be regretting, basically. Oh, there's tier 2. This is tier 1 is fine. And we have type here, here, and return. Priority from return. Let's just unit to build all of that. And hopefully we can put all the servers right back. This will allow much more comfortable production here. Yeah, much more comfortable. Yep, that's much better. Now we will need all the products kind of organized in some nice way. We can also do, organize the recipes Oh, so that was not what I need. What is the first one? The silicon wafer? Yes. 1A. Oh, actually, I'm just while thinking about it, we will eventually upgrade. Is that right? Am I just thinking we're gonna have? Oh, we just upgrade the machine, but we will not upgrade the flow. Okay, I'm confused because in an old game we used to have second tier of microchips that take even more stages, and I think we simplified that. I'm not sure if it was even released ever, but at some time in the past we did have, I believe, first 3 stages and then 5 stages around. But that's not the case anymore. I think we simplified that to only 4 stages total. Oh, it's 4 stages total, right? Because it's not enough. Mark is asking whether we plan to have servers in Desert Degrade. Yeah, the maintenance is basically that. You're replacing, hard drives and replacing a bunch of things. The maintenance 3. Maintenance 3 does take the microchips, so that's supposedly it's a maintenance, right? It's a whatever you do in the data center to keep it running. I think I need 4. Is that right? Is this not even as comfortable as I thought it is? This is wafer to 1A. It's gonna be 1A to 1B. It's gonna be 1B to 1C. This is 1C to 2A. 2A to 2B. 2B to 2C. 2C to 3A. 3A to 3B. 3B to 3C. Now 3C to 4A. 4A to 4B. And 4B to final product. All right. I was building 3 stages before because, as I mentioned in the early game, I guess before alpha release, we had 3 stages and then 5 stages. So I was kind of thinking that's what it is, but now it's different. Now this is cool. And how to tile this? This is kind of not easy thing to tile, huh? Because we need... that's interesting. I think one way to tile it would be to have all the materials on one side. The reason I want to tile this is because I don't want to be connecting this row more than once. That once is my limit to how many times I want to connect this. So, we have even little pipes here. I should have deleted that. The copy pasting. So this needs acid and water. That's easy. This needs copper and plastic. That's gonna be copper, plastic, gold. These are 3 materials which are gonna be a little harder to connect. I think yeah, it's gonna be basically 3 lanes. Doesn't matter which one is on what, that can be decided later. The thing is, I wouldn't be able to come down from such a high... Let's use lifts. I such a rarely use lifts, and I think that's basically, I think I already told you guys, it's a habit. I've been working on the game for 8 years without lifts, and suddenly we have lifts, and my brain is just like not accepting that fact that you can easily come down. My brain's like, oh, you can't connect this now, too bad. The reality is you can, but it takes lifts. All right, so you can put gold on the top. Yeah, let's do gold on the top. And copper and plastic on the other two. This one doesn't need lift, I think. Yeah, this one is fine. The gold, maybe we can just connect it kind of like sideways like this. I think it's not a big of a deal. Just like that, even without lift. I think it's all right. We don't need the space heater anyway, so it's all right to have a ramp. Now the cool thing, we can maybe mirror another row. We could mirror, but then the pipes have a problem. Yeah. All right, so we need a simple pipe. Oh, the simple pipe has to be not that simple actually. There is a little ramp here in the way, which I think is all right. Actually, yeah, let me first do the... Actually, it's really tiled anyway, right? Let's do it. All right. Let's do the pipe connection. And it's one. Oh, I have a disabled snapping. That would explain a lot. All right, and then another pipe connection. That's gonna be the other one. Water and acid, doesn't matter which one is which. All right. And if I cut this, copy this, would it just be pasteable? Not bad. Look at that. Easy. Here we can just trim. These ends, maybe we can just remove them for neatness. Not sure if it's in neater, but yeah, that seems like that would do the trick. Keep building servers. All right. Oh, I haven't made too much space for the silicon crystallizer here. Should I move this even more? That's a little embarrassing, huh? I just moved it and it feels that I should move it a little bit more too. There's so much space. There's no reason for me to, you know. Okay. You just do this. Just move it here. If you destroy this, by the way, you get all the servers back, even though it doesn't show. Maybe we should show that. I mean, the servers inside, they would not be wasted. That would be very cruel. Maybe the destroy thing on the full data center should include the servers in. You could also remove them first and then destroy it if you are unsure about what it's going to do. The reason I'm doing it for the second time now is that I really think I should fit the silicon wafer production at the beginning of this. and have a plenty space to do so. Priority is preserved here. It's fantastic. Let's put all the servers back in. The coolant in. I think we can start pausing these. Yeah. The thing is, I can mirror this, connect to the conveyor belts, but the pipes has to be doubled. Maybe not end of the world, actually. Pipes are cheap and cost no electricity, unlike conveyor belts, which do. However, saving electricity while making microchips seems a little funny. Sure. Oh, I'm missing the last ones were not properly connected. No, let's make it symmetric. Yeah, now it looks nice. This is much nicer ending. I think this is great. And yeah, we have a wafer here. This is taking 4, and this is producing 8. So this is actually enough to supply both of these, which is nice. Could be 2 to 1, very even ratio. And now we can have a horizontal bus coming in with all the materials that we need. And that would be acid, water. So here, Rebel is going to be a little harder. Alright, I think I will just decommission this because I don't want to be dealing with the transition. If you hold control while deleting something, unit will be automatically applied. As you can see, it just makes them disappear. Alright, so the top belt was gold, which conveniently is right here. And actually, conveniently, it's already at certain height. Now I'll keep it at that height. Yep. Then we have copper and plastic, which conveniently is actually right here. And then the silicon, right? Yeah, silicon conveniently right here. That ended up being way easier than I thought it would be. And our liquids, water is needed in 2 places. Here we can just, oh, we can't grab it, huh? It's a little tricky here because of the fuel. Let's make ourselves a little water entry. All these needs very little water. We're not very interested in large pipes. So yeah, one is going to be right here. And the second will be here. I will actually do it slightly differently. Oh, that was not... What's going on in here? That was a shape. That, oh, I see. I went down, unfortunately. Yeah, exactly. That is water. An acid. Where's acid coming from? Oh, from copper. That's good. Yeah, actually, let's keep the acid at the height 3 because it needs to be there anyway. Maybe a little further here. Yeah, right here. Okay, is that it? I have lots of Unity. What if I build the whole thing with Unity? Is it gonna cost all my Unity? And if it's not right, I'll build just the first part thing. Just to see if the first guys are working properly before committing to the entire build, because these are pretty expensive, those machines. The water we no longer need here. Those machines, yeah. Turn off the vehicle import. I feel that the silicon crystallizer is using not enough water. I feel that one water is so inconsequential that maybe if there was like 8 water, it'd be fine. You should probably use even some kind of like purified water of these guys actually. These should be using like deionized water. H2O. Maybe we can have some kind of a machine that deionizes water. Is deionization of water using just power? I think so. Or maybe some reverse osmosis. I'm not sure what they use for that process. It must be something quite involved. Definitely might not be just a simple filter. It's going to be more than that, right? You want all the ions of water gone. Anything except H2O, ideally. Alright, the acid is... Oh? Oh. Signal's flowing because I did not build the pipes for it yet. So they're saying that it's put through refrigerated beds of filter materials that are charged. What kind of filter materials? I'm curious. I mean, I might need to watch some kind of a how it's made, deionized water. Be interesting if there's some video about explaining how to make, you know, DIY deionized water. It'd be interesting to watch. All right, so now we have microchips here, and I think by doing this, we have effectively quadrupled the production compared to last time, I think. Which is exciting. We might be struggling with computing a little bit, so I will take the second row and put the priority 12. And unfortunately, it has to do it one by one because I cannot copy paste. That would ruin my recipe settings. Priority tool will be nice. Some kind of way how to copy only priority or copy only something from the machine. I would be using right now if we had such thing. Fortunately, we don't have it. So maybe in the future we can introduce some kind of priority tool. I would say even overlay would be nice to kind of see priorities of machines, kind of like at a glance, basically. Be nice. Yeah, so Sarda, what recipe would you make in Captain of Industry for deionized water? Would you take water and what to filter it? Just curious. What's your idea about that. Yeah, computing. We can actually unpause these guys just to kickstart it again. Yep, trucks are delivering. Things are being built. Maybe kickstart with Unity a second tier. Yeah, here I have put maybe the next live stream we could be doing arc furnaces. That would be quite an overhaul because arc furnaces not only need graphite but also need water for cooling. And not only they output slag and exhaust, they also output low pressure steam in case you care to recover it. So, and I think we care. That'd be very interesting to explore. Perhaps next time we can upgrade all our furnaces. And that would get rid of our coal usage, maybe nearly all of it. I think most of our coal usage is currently in furnaces, so this would make these guys all obsolete. And we can move them off mining some other parts of the island, like the crater. Why isn't it possible to dump liquids on the terrain? Well, because we have no terrain physics. Unfortunately, that takes a lot of work to make reasonable physics with water that would understand the water, understand the filling, unfilling, flow. And that's a really complicated thing for terrains of sizes like this. It's okay to make it in a small domain, but if you have a terrain which is 4,000 by 4,000 grid, there is 16 million grids and you have to simulate water on some of them, it becomes really taxing. And I said every time people bring this up, we had flowing water in Captain of Industry pre-alpha version actually. We in fact have it such that you can dump liquid concrete on the ground, it would solidify and make concrete ground. It was flowing, we were making fun that we can, fill your mine with concrete of your competitor so we can't mine anymore because there's a concrete now. It was fabulous, it was great, it was lots of fun, but unfortunately as the game scaled, this became unbearable, and then more than 50% or even 90% of the CPU was spent by simulating water if you went overboard. So it would be great. I would really enjoy, I think, and lots of people will enjoy having flowing water and everything, but we need to have some serious performance optimizations on top of what we already have to even allow for that. So it is our low priority because we can spend our time doing things like trains, which are also tough, but not as tough as simulating water. So maybe in the future, if you stick with us, maybe we can consider some maybe simplified water. I was thinking, for example, simplified water is lava, for example, because lava is not flowing as much and it's not making rivers, right? It's kind of a limited use, but then, lava is also quite not as you can't just make lava and dump it in the terrain. So that's we limited. So we are running out of power. I can see that, and there's a magic wand. I can just wave and turn on this nuke and make lots of power suddenly. Talking about nukes, we are slowly running out of depleted uranium storage. And we are halfway through our spent fuel storage. So next time we could potentially do tier 2 nuclear chain, which will repurpose spent fuel into plutonium, which then can make MOX rods. So lots of options. We're nearly the end of the research tree, but there's still lots of things to do. Replacing furnaces to get rid of coal, it's an interesting thing to do. but also making a tier 2 nuclear would be interesting to solve a little bit of these issues of nuclear waste being piled up. Which now I turned on the nuclear power plant 100%, and yeah, we are using lots of it. Not enough computing. More servers. They're competing with labs now. Yeah, it's gonna eventually start working. We are making lots of... Yeah, the first row is running 100%, which is really nice. So we're actually making 8 microchips a minute. Can we even process that? No, we can't. All right, so it's actually... Here's the bottleneck. Now. We have nothing stored, actually. It was just... Yeah, this is definitely has to be doubled up. Oh yeah, now we made our maintenance here. There was let's just do one more for now. This convertible can be definitely made a little neater, I think. Yeah. And then we can fit maybe 2 more. Yep. I'll just do that. Totally we need 16. So it's a 9, 12, it's 15. That's mostly right. And one of them is gonna be P9 and P10. I'll put them kind of lower and lower on the priority chain to balance it out. Turn on the second server machine. And I think we can also get more electronics 3 from the map to help with the server bootstrapping. Paolo, it's in the YouTube chat, is saying that they're just starting playing a game and they were quite proud of 100 yellow construction parts. Yeah, the little beginnings. You know, you can take the history of this live stream. We started very humble, and now we have construction parts. We're rich. Like construction parts rich. You know, in the late game, obviously the tier 3 and tier 4 construction parts are the bottlenecks. So tier 3 is kind of like, yeah, right, you can just make them en masse. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tier 3 assemblies and 2 tier 2 assemblies. I think I clicked something I didn't want to click here. Yeah. Yeah, but you can't underestimate it because they are always using the previous tier, right? So for tier 3 you need tier 2, for tier 2 you need tier 1. So this is all being used up, and you can see they're all working actually. Even though we are rarely using it for construction, we are using it for production. One thing I would recommend doing, by the way, if you have like a flow that, for example, tier 1 construction parts goes into a storage and the storage then feeds tier 2, I think that's a great setup. You can have a buffer and that's all great. However, if sometimes you need to build something, but the tier 2 will kind of drain your storage. So you end up with empty storage of tier 1s and they can never fill it up because the tier 2s are taking it away. Do a second storage that is a dead end. A second storage, basically I have it here, those tiny ones. You can see them here. They're always taken with the conveyor belt and there's nothing using them from the conveyor belt. So it's only for the trucks and only for construction. And it greatly helps eliminate issues when you're getting stuck. In addition to that, if you are low on parts and you have one belt going to this storage, another belt going to tier 2 production, you're always going to split half and half. So you're going to get half of your parts being stored for construction, half being used for the next tier. which also helps to replenish those storages, because if you don't do the second storage, you always end up low on the lower tier if you're not producing enough, right? So that would be my suggestion. If you are just building tier 2 construction parts, make a little extra storage just for construction and have a buffer for the next tier. Tier 4 doesn't need a buffer because there's nothing's using it anymore. So I haven't built this small storage for tier 4. Yeah, another reason might be there's no space, but yeah, there's no need for that. Nick on Twitch is saying, oh, welcomes from Russia. Welcome, hello. In Russia, it must be pretty late, probably evening already, right? Because right now I'm having basically noon in my part of globe. In Russia is probably kind of like maybe 10 p.m. or something, I'm thinking, or 11 maybe. Welcome, little late night things. Glad you're enjoying the game. Thanks for joining in. I was always thinking about the Asia and Australia, which sometimes few people from Australia join in, but it's like 4 a.m. for them, which you have to be dedicated. So I'm sure all the people from Asia and Australia are watching the recording, which if you are, then hello and welcome, and thanks for joining in as well. In fact, most people watch the recordings, right? We have more views on recordings than live views, which is fine. That's why the recordings are there, and this is also why I am using Twitch and YouTube at the same time, because YouTube allows like a recording archive which is unlimited, because Twitch, it disappears in 2 weeks, and we don't want to be forcing people to watch at certain time. It's easier to join in. I see we have lots of people today, by the way. I didn't even check the numbers. We have over 100 people, 150 people live on YouTube. Wow. Oh no, that's views. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's not live. That's how many people watched us throughout the day. Live is less than that. Okay. So that's maybe some in the future. Maybe our tomorrow stream for trains would have 150 people live, maybe even more. I'm looking forward for that. I was just checking the live stream. Yeah, another 50. And actually our map is being mostly finished. Yeah, I think 2 last locations and that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I might spend some more time decorating off stream. I'm not sure if you guys want to see me placing letters one by one on my ground. That seems like a little probably enjoyable for you. So, things like fixing this and adding little lines and corners. Maybe even more lines. Yeah, pretty cool. I've tried adding some palm trees. I'm not sure if this is something. I think it looks pretty cool. Even though they are each different size, and the size is random. So I think maybe this one is too small. Maybe we can cut it down and replant it and hope for a bigger one, or cut down the big one and hope for a smaller one. I'm not sure we should allow controlling the size. It'll be a little pyramid shape, I guess. Yeah, it's random what you get. You can't choose the tree size like in real life. Because in real life you can cut it, but you can't make it bigger if you wanted to. Not that easily. You have to wait for it. Yeah. It's repaired. It can go here. And here we are done with our flattening job. And I think it's alright. Yeah, this is great. I'm not sure if I want to do anything else here. This is all done. Maybe here we could have make it flat. And connect it nicely here, I think. Should be good. Yeah, but that's for dumping. That's not for excavators. So I'm not sure if I even need this space. So I think I'll dismiss everyone here. And next time we can use them for some other time. By the way, here there was a big sand mine, if you remember from last time. And it's all leveled. Nobody even knows. There used to be a sand mine. It's all decommissioned. Yeah, our limestone mountain is also nowhere to be found. If somebody playing on this map, this is the Armageddon map. There used to be a huge limestone range. Now it's more of a limestone hole. And I think I want to keep digging it. I don't want to be losing the limestone. So next time we're going to have to dig a little deeper. That's why I dumped a little bit of a stone around the coast so we can go a little deeper and don't let the water flood in. That's where it is. All right, we have another victory. Let's do the last one. We have more electronics. Servers. Oh yeah, now we are ramping up the production. It's fantastic. Already making 32 teraflops. Not enough for these guys yet. Kind of cool how they synchronized, huh? Little wave of the robotic arm when they are running. A little wave. Right, the last battle. Let's watch it. Perhaps the last battle in this series. Yeah, our cannons are no match. Our DPS is way bigger. All right, and that's it. So this is the final map that I end up having in this playthrough. We still have lots of things we could use, and we probably will. Quartz mine, a limestone mine, coal mine, groundwater well might be interesting to get some extra groundwater if you don't want to use desalination. There's rock. Uranium mine might be important once we run out, which I guess in 500 years we will. We already depleted the first oil rig we had in the game. That used to be there now. It's completely empty. We are slowly depleting the next two. They still have, well, this one actually 154 years. That's not as many. So this one has lots of supplies left, but it's only running on 1x. I do 2x here and 2x here. You can see they are 600 and 300 years respectively. So I think eventually we're going to have to stop relying on crude oil and start hydrogen vehicles. So I think the goal, if we ever going to get there, I'm not sure if it's feasible, but getting full sustainability would be nice. Basically not relying on anything, basically being able to play forever with nothing running out. So eventually you're going to have to use contracts for that, right? So if you go to contract screen, we can start, for example, paying gold for crude oil, but then you have to get gold somewhere, right? So you can buy gold ore for servers, and you can start, making contracts and figuring it out how to make it work. So that'd be interesting to try out to make it fully sustainable. Yeah. Or look at that, our full, all stacks are going 100%. Lots of electricity being produced by all those nukes. I always like to look at the generator turning. Yeah, sometimes they're not all turning. These ones, sometimes they turn a little bit. I guess our electricity is fluctuating quite a bit. Yeah, you can see. Over time, I guess I have to go max to see the true scale. So the last 100 years are, we went a little bit up, but not too much. But if you look at the lifetime statistics. It's kind of going up quite significantly. Which is, yeah, it's great. All right. Our forest, by the way, like a couple episodes back, we had a huge wood crisis, so I have made a huge forest here, and it's since then I've never heard about wood. It's always keeping up. I have it even set up to keep the trees 100% growing. Where are my towers? Here, 24 years. And it's fantastic. We have 2 farms producing saplings. I haven't even upgraded this farm because it was not necessary. Maybe I can do it, just it looks better. But we have full storage of saplings. We have some storages in the middle of the field to help the harvesters or planters to not go as far. They can pick it up much closer. Yeah, wood is doing great, and it's just, this size has been enough for me for the rest of the game. So I think we will not need any bigger. Our biggest drain for wood is construction parts, obviously, and also household goods. They're using quite a bit of wood. So, and they're not gonna stop, never gonna stop. So we're gonna have to have the wood forever. But you know, that's fine. It grows for free. So that works pretty well. Okay. So yeah, this is it. I think it's gonna be it for today. We have done exactly what I set out to do, and that's to have data centers. Well, we have 1 data center, half full, and we have significantly scaled the microchip production, quadrupled it, basically, which I can probably... Oops, I wanted to see the chart. Right. So this was our production before. And then we enabled the second row, so we had the 2 rows. And then we destroyed everything, and suddenly we are reaching 104 from, it used to be 30. Yeah, so that's great to see. That's totally working. We can also see servers, which you can see just the production. Yeah, it started. So sometimes the graph doesn't start from 0. So it started year 790. Started going well because we had stocked up microchips, but then we ran out, I think. Now we are... These fluctuations are from when we destroyed the data center, so we got lots of back. So production includes the construction, which maybe we should improve those plots too. You can separate, so you can see the production without the construction, as well as the total. It's been always around here. Nobody's waking up. All right, it's gonna be it. Let me just check for some last questions, if there's some in chat, so I can quickly respond to anything. So RZ Nick saying that you can install tiles under residential buildings. Yes. I think you can, yeah. You can put concrete, which maybe we should. I wonder which one would look good. Maybe simple concrete, bricks, or maybe have some kind of a stone surface. And try for next time. Just remember, I just put it here. And yep. Is there a level you can upgrade world mines? Oh, I'm not sure about what's the maximum level of upgrade. I might need to check on that. But there There used to be no limit. I'm not sure if that's still true under difficulty. But if you need more sulfur than level 8, wow, you have a level 8 level 8 sulfur and it's still not enough. That's pretty awesome. I'm not sure. I will have to check. You can ask me on next stream and I'll have an answer for you about that. So this is it for today. Thank you everyone for joining again. And join us tomorrow for the trains live stream, where I'm going to be showcasing the trains and how they work without signals. Hopefully I'll make you believe that train network without signals can be as good as the one with signals, even better maybe. So thanks a lot and see you tomorrow or next week. Bye.